My name is Olivia Butler and I'm a sophomore here at State Fair and I major in pre-physical therapy. The book that I chose for this assignment is Death's Acre by Dr. Bill Bass and John Jefferson. This book follows the creation of the body farm and its creator, Dr. Bill Bass. The reason that I chose this book is because I love all things forensic anthropology. It's very interesting and I was very grateful to have the opportunity to read this book. Also, I'm a great fan of the show Bones, and in the show we follow the main character, Bones. She is a forensic anthropologist, and at one point she even visits a fictional body farm, but based off of the real one. Death's Acre by Dr. Bill Bass and John Jefferson discusses the creation of the world-renowned body farm, also known as the Forensic Anthropology Center, or FAC. It is located in the University of Tennessee's campus and is located right behind the medical center. The facility focuses on the study of decomposition of human remains. The reason that the whole thing came to be was that a farmer approached Dr. Bill Bass and asked, "Can you figure out how long my cow has been dead?" And Bill said, "Well, give me 4 of them and we can see what I can do." The reason he needed 4 was because depending on the weather and the climate can change how a body decomposes. So he needed 1 for each season. But after seeing all the evidence and observations that he concluded from his experiment, he saw that there's a way he can apply this to human remains, which through the creation of the facility, Dr. Bill Bass has helped grow the forensic anthropology study. The FAC has contributed to a large portion of research to the field of forensic anthropology. Students under the study of Dr. Bill Bass have even concluded their own large amounts of research. One student, in fact, studied the different types of saw marks on bones and in limbs. He even was able to get down to how much force someone had to do with a push and a pull, and even if the person who was doing the sawing even hesitated. Another type of research that has come from the body farm was the study of how bugs make decomposition increase. However, not everyone believes and trusts the research that comes out of the body farm, simply because when Dr. Bill Bass was in his early stages of being a forensic anthropologist, he accidentally misidentified a body. The body actually was a body of Colonel William Shy, who was killed in the Civil War, but since he was buried in a very tight casket and was very well embalmed, the body looked like it was much fresh and younger than it actually was. Due to this misidentification, Dr. Bill Bass knew that he needed to find a new way that he could help his entire field be able to be more correct. So he created the FAC, or the body farm as you can call it, and from all the research that has come out, the forensic anthropology community has grown and they're able to solve more cases and murders more than ever before. My favorite part of this book actually has to be how Dr. Bass has been able to solve old cases with just a little bit of evidence. For example, he was able to solve a murder of a young child just based off a couple finger bones. And the reason he was able to do that was because he knew the lineage that actually ran in the child's DNA, and he compared it to these small bones that he had. Actually, because of this, he was able to realize that the bones that he had did not belong to the child who was thought to be dead. However, it belonged to a different child, and then they found the one that was actually missing. The reason that this book is so impactful on society is that It has helped bring up new evidence that helps forensic anthropologists and people around forensics or any criminology solve cases. And they're able to look at the bug larvae and see the correlation between how long it's been there, what stage the larvae are in, and how long the body's been decomposing or sitting there. Another interesting issue is that they were able to see how different saw marks impact bones, what a circular saw would look like instead of a regular push and pull saw, or even a kitchen knife. And then also, they were able to create a book showing the different stages of decomposition due to different weather increments and locations. A body that is completely submerged in water is going to decompose different than one that's buried 4 feet underground. Also, with that new evidence, they're able to get a more exact time of death. Instead of, oh, I think they've been dead for about 8 hours, they can be like, oh, well, the bugs have started to burrow in and eat at the body, so maybe 5 hours. And they can even get closer and closer to actually when the body was left there. And then another awesome part of the book was that they were able to see that, say a person was killed in one location and sat for a second, they would able to be then moved to another. By examining the body, they can see remnants of where the body was actually killed. The reason he saw this was because one of Bill's friends was writing a book and wanted to know a little bit about what would happen if a body was left on a penny and then moved. Would you be able to see the penny on its back? So what they did was they put a body on different objects, one a saw blade, scissors, and then a penny. Once they moved it from that surface, they then moved it to another one and they looked at the body and see what the outcome was. And they saw the outlines of everything, the saw blades, the scissors, and the penny. But actually, the penny reacted with the skin and turned it green. What I learned from this book was that thanks to the FAC, the forensic anthropology community has grown an insane amount. And not only that, but there are body farms all over the world now. There are forensic anthropologists doing their own study to help their community and help solve cases. I definitely think you guys should read this book, but I really recommend listening to the audiobook because it's more like a person telling a story to you than you having to read someone's book.